All right, with everyone at home at the same time more often now, there might be more conflict between you and your family members.
Yes, Damali Peterman is a conflict resolution expert and founder of Breakthrough ADR, and she's sharing some easy ways to avoid conflict. Thank you so much for Damali for joining us. And I have to say, as someone who has 3 people living in the house with them, my husband and my 2 kids, sometimes we're working from home, the kids are on remote school, the dog is barking, and tempers can get a little bit high.
Oh, absolutely. This is a time more now than ever before where conflict can really, really fester. And so it's so wonderful to be here with you today, Melissa and Scott.
Well, I love the fact that you say you can actually have a fresh start with your diet, you can have a fresh start with this, but you can have a fresh start with people as well. That gives me some hope.
Absolutely. The acronym that we've derived at Breakthrough ADR to help you have a great start to the new year, a fresh start with new people, is actually the word great, Scott. And so there's hope for you and for all of us, especially getting into each letter for great.
All right, so let's begin with G.
Absolutely. The G in great is to generate a list of intentions and announce them. How else will people know that you're attempting to do new things? Well, let people know. Write these things down, put them where everyone can see them, and get some buy-in. Say something to the effect of, I was thinking we could work on communication or time management. Do you have any suggestions? That's the best way to get people involved and help you stay accountable for those new things you want to do in the new year.
All right, great. And the next letter is R, restarting a conversation. Talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So did you ever have a conversation and things went a little sideways and you have no idea how you ended up there?
Yes.
And you're in an awkward, heated, or a comfortable place? Well, start over. It's okay to start over. Lean into whatever you're feeling and say, I don't know how we got here, but maybe we can start this conversation over. What do you think? And that inquiry, the what do you think is key, because you can test the waters, because maybe the other person on the other side wasn't feeling what you were feeling, and maybe you can move forward in the conversation without that hiccup. So it's important to restart the conversation.
Now, E, my E is for exit when I'm not getting along with someone, but you have a different example for E.
I do, Scott. I want people to engage in a different way. And what I mean by that is to try non-complimentary behavior. Despite announcing your intentions, old habits are hard to break, and previous patterns are just easy to slip into. And so since you can only control your behavior and not the behavior of someone else, I want people to try this. When someone yells at you, try speaking in a lower octave. If someone frowns at you, try smiling. By doing the opposite of what's expected in a conflict, you can de-escalate the tension and completely change the course of a disagreement.
I feel like that actually would work really well.
Yeah.
But when you're in a heated argument, it's hard to do that. Like if you're yelling at me and then all of a sudden I smile, you would probably laugh.
Right. I'd be like, what are you smiling at? I tried it with my cat, and the cat got angry with me.
This usually works on humans, Scott.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so the letter A is for apologize, and I feel like this one is really important because there are some times when I'm yelling at my kids because I'm frustrated about something and I take it out on them, but I always make sure I go back and say, Mommy was just having a bad moment. I'm sorry for yelling at you. Apologies make a big difference.
A huge difference.
Apologies make a big difference. And what I love about what you said, Melissa, is that you're modeling that good behavior, right? It's okay to sometimes have a hiccup in the moment and then going back and saying, I apologize for that. And apologies are difficult to do because sometimes people, it's just naturally, the human urge is to kind of stay silent and hope that things will just go away. And so what I want people to do is exactly what you're saying. If you've had a chance to reflect and you realize that you could have handled things differently, I want you to say, I'm sorry when I did X or said X because. And that's key because you want to make sure the apology is genuine and sincere, right? You don't want to say something like, oh, I'm sorry if you felt like X when this happened. Well, no, that's kind of putting it on the other person. So I want people to own the apology.
And try again. That's the letter T.
Absolutely, Scott. So the T in Breakthrough ADR's acronym for great is probably the most important. Give yourself some grace. If you've made it to today and you're watching the show, then you've survived an unusually tough year. And change doesn't always happen quickly. So even if you revert to your old ways, I want people to keep trying these tips until the desired results are obtained, because I know And I'm sure you all know that you can do something great this year.
Well, Damali, I don't know where you are, but if you're ever in Connecticut and we get out of this pandemic, we'd love to have you on the show.
It would be my pleasure, and I think it would be great, Scott.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's wonderful. Yeah, great advice there that we all need.
Yes, I apologize. I don't even know if I did anything wrong.
Well,
but
I'm smiling, so.
Exactly, we're even. Thanks,
Thank
Molly.
you.
It's my pleasure. Have a wonderful day.